What's up, guys? You are watching the Villains Only Podcast, Episode 2. Let's get it. What is up, y'all? You are watching the Villains Only Podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying your week so far. Just to run through a few quick announcements. If you guys want to find the podcast, I am on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts. If you guys have been enjoying the content so far, go ahead and give me a like, comment, or subscribe. Also, I am currently in the process of working on the season 2 intro. So if you guys have any song suggestions that you would possibly like to hear, you can DM me on Instagram at BlackJet0, or you can just comment or message me on YouTube as well. And also, I'm going to be working on getting a few more props in here, some banners, maybe a few more sound panels. So like I said, the studio is always constantly improving. So if you guys also have any other suggestions on how I can improve the studio, just go ahead and let me know. But yeah, anyways, to get on today's topic, I'm going to be talking to you guys about hygiene tips that can help you increase your attractiveness. So, like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content so far, go ahead and give me a like, comment, or subscribe. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to be teaching you guys today some hygiene tips that will help you level up. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, the first tip that can help you is I'm going to be talking to you in regards to your hair. So the easiest way I'm going to get through how hygiene can help increase your attractiveness is I'm going to go through my own personal routine. And what I want to talk to you guys today in regards to hygiene is that oftentimes I will ask a lot of women, what is the biggest pet peeve that you have or biggest turn off in regards to men? And a lot of them will say, well, if the guy has poor hygiene, if he doesn't brush his teeth, if I can look at his tongue and it looks like he's stuck it in Fun Dip and it's all nasty looking and like furry looking, if their breath stinks, if the clothes that they have on have like stains on them, they're wrinkled, I can clearly tell that they don't bathe, they stink, they got dirt underneath their fingernails, just things like that. And a lot of these can really disqualify a man from a woman. So you could be the most attractive looking guy, your money can be on point, your physique can be on point, but if you don't take care of your hygiene, that can immediately disqualify you. So just to go through my routine, Typically, every man needs a morning routine. Uh, and if you have to take time out of your morning to have a routine, then that's just what it is. Because when you start off your mornings with a routine, you're going to start on the right foot, and you're going to be able to perform at 100% if you feel at 100% and you look at 100%. So the first thing I kind of want to discuss with you guys is hair. So typically, when it comes to haircuts, it kind of depends on the shape of your head. So as you guys probably can't tell from this angle, but I have a oval shaped head. I'm gonna be honest, my head's shaped like a boiled egg, and it would be hard for me. I would be remiss to say that I would look better with a shaved head. I wouldn't, because my head, starts to get smaller and smaller as it reaches closer and closer to the top. So if I have a shaved head, it just makes it more prominent that I have a boiled egg shaped head. So I like to have longer hair. It works more in my favor. As you guys may or may not notice, is that my hair is fairly long. I'll probably have to get into the light a little bit more, but you can see my hair is pretty long, reaches my back almost. Um, and I kind of found it difficult to choose between having long hair and short hair, so I just went with both. Long hair on top, and if you guys can see, I'll show you. Long on top only, and then the sides are short. So the sides I'll shave myself. And put these back on. Yeah, so I keep the sides short and the back short, and then I keep the top super long. And it works in my favor for if it's ever hot outside, I can just bun my hair, and then I get that nice cool breeze on the sides and the back of my head. Um, so you want to make sure that you have a haircut that works well with the shape of your head. So if your head is typically maybe a little bit more box shaped, a short haircut would benefit you a lot better than someone that has a boiled egg shaped head like me. So you really want to experiment with different hairstyles. So if you typically have shorter hair, I would try to experiment with shorter haircuts, bald fade, temp fade, see how you like those, shaved all around, whatever the case may be. And if that doesn't really work, then you can experiment with growing out your hair longer, because the process typically takes way longer if you want to experiment with longer hair. Um, and then also you want to use a really good hair care product. So I'll show you guys what I got going on right here. This right here is called Aunt Jackie's Curl-La-La Defining Curl Custard. And the reason why I like this product so much is that it smells great. When I put it into my hair, it's very light. It doesn't feel crunchy or crispy. You're still able to run fingers through the hair, and there's not really a lot of greasiness to it, and it also helps really define my curls. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but maybe I can try to pull one of them, but that's a strand of my hair right now, and it'll bounce up when I let go. So it's a really good product that I like to use for my hair. And typically what I'll do is I will wash my hair with water, or like just rinse it out with water, or I have a spray bottle that also has a mixture of water and apple cider vinegar. So that's going to give a nice sheen to my hair. It's also very healthy for my hair as well. So that's what I'll do. And then I'll typically use a pick to detangle my hair, because my hair likes to knot up a lot. Once I detangle it, then I'll hit it with the brush, and then it'll actually begin to run through the comb more smoothly, and I can actually brush my hair completely all the way down. So yeah, you just want to make sure you use good styling products. I would highly avoid any type of cheap hair gel. any type of cheap mousse, anything that has an extreme hold, because you will feel your hair get crunchy. And the worst thing that can possibly happen is once it starts to dry up, it'll start to crunch and flake. Once it starts flaking, you'll notice that flakiness in your hair as the product starts to break off. And the worst possible thing that can happen is for you to go on a date, the product starts flaking in your hair, the woman notices it, and then all of a sudden she's like, this motherfucker has dandruff. And then at that point, that is the complete opposite effect of what you want. Now you're sitting here putting this product in your hair, thinking that you're increasing your status, when the complete opposite happens, and she's sitting there thinking that you got dandruff or lice. So avoid any type of cheap hair gel with extreme hold or any type of mousse that has extreme hold. They do have pomade and some hair styling powder that you can just kind of pour in your hand, rub together, or pour on top of your hair, and then just like run your fingers through it and style your hair yourself. If you have like a medium to semi medium length of hair where you're able to style it and spike it up, things of that nature. Also, what I would really recommend is that you either A, learn to cut your own hair, or B, invest in a really good barber. Barber's going to be your best friend. They're going to take care of you. They do have those services where they'll take the hot towel and steam your face as well. It just really depends on what you want. Those can run a little bit more pricier, and those type of services typically you can perform on yourself. Um, but for me, I like to cut my own hair. As I said before, I have right here, I'll show you guys. It is a straight razor, and what you can do with this product is you can line up all your edges. So what I'll do is I'll take a foil razor, completely shave the sides and the back, then I'll line everything up close to where my hair is with the straight razor, and then to finish it off, I'll use a normal razor and just kind of smooth everything completely, because I kind of like the bald feeling, because I do work out a lot, so I do sweat. So I do like having the hair on top. I can just kind of bun it, and then everything else on the sides and back will get that cool breeze. So that's also really good. They do sell hair cutting kits, self hair cutting kits on Amazon. So it'll be like 3 mirrors. You're able to see the sides and the back, and be able to cut your own hair. But that is a skill that will save you time and money. And then, if you get really good, you can even start, cutting other people up. So I highly recommend, if you get the chance, to learn to cut your own hair or invest in a really good barber. Although if you do invest in a really good barber, the cost might be a little bit more, anywhere from $20 to like $50. Moving on to the next topic. So we're going to talk about facial hair. So with facial hair, there's really no in between. What I mean by that is, if you, for example, have a beard and it's patchy, so it's kind of full right here, but then there's like a missing spot here, missing spot there, you're going to want to shave it, or you're going to want to either cut it super low or just shave it off completely, because you don't want to have a beard that is not completely full. It's just going to look really weird. Like, the reason why I completely shave my face is because I grow a few hairs on my chin. There's like, like a little bald spot right here. And then the mustache that I could grow if I wanted to, it's not a full mustache. It's just like a lot of hairs, and it's not completely full. So it just looks really creepy. It gives me like this weird like pedophile look. So I just completely shave it off. I look so much better with a clean face, and there will be a lot of guys that look better with a clean face, as opposed to just keeping this half-assed facial hair that doesn't even fully connect. However, if you do have a full beard, everything looks great. You do want to, that's where the straight razor comes in handy again. You want to use that to line everything up, make all the corners sharp and straightened. And then I also like to use the straight razor for my eyebrows. So if you have a unibrow, or if you have some random hairs that don't really line up uh, with the rest of the eyebrow hairs that make it look full, you can just use a straight razor and clean up the edges. You can pluck the hair, but that's probably going to be a little bit more painful. So I just prefer personally to use a straight razor to clean up my eyebrows. If you have nose hairs or ear hair, you're going to want to use a trimmer, like a nose hair trimmer. It's Women are going to especially find it unattractive if you have nose hair that is clearly hanging out. It's one thing if it's in your nose but not really visible, but once it's hanging out, that's going to be an immediate turn off, especially ear hair as well. So you just want to get a nice trimmer to make sure you clean all of that up. And then, like I said, if you have that kind of patchy beard, you might as well cut it real low or just shave it off completely. They do kind of have like the fillers. I don't know what they're called, but they're like marker fillers where you can fill in your beard. But hey, those things can come off, and then it's just going to show that you don't really have that much confidence in your beard. So just work with what you have. Like if it's better to just shave it shorter and then line it up, and then maybe it looks better that way, or just to completely shave it off, then just do that. um, and and like I said, you can also use it to just clean up other portions of your face. So the rule for me typically is any unwanted hairs I get rid of, and any hairs that I do want, that's what I maintain. So moving on to the next part of my routine is when I focus on my teeth and my mouth. So when I brush my teeth, I typically like to use a FDA approved toothpaste, something that's dentist recommended. I like anything that has baking soda or peroxide because those are, at least in my case, tried and true methods. Charcoal has also worked for me as well. I've heard certain things about charcoal breaking down the enamel on your teeth. I haven't really had any issues with it, but I just prefer the toothpaste that have like the baking soda and the peroxide in it. So it's really your preference, but those are typically what I use that work the best for me. And as you guys can tell, I have a pretty white smile. I've been getting a lot of compliments lately for my smile. So, I'll do the typical routine. I'll brush my teeth. And then also, what you guys want to invest in is a tongue scraper. They have plastic ones, they have metal ones. The metal ones typically work a lot better. They're a little bit more pricier and they're a little harder to find. You might have to go to those natural grocery stores like Natural Grocers, Whole Foods. That's where I've typically been able to find them. But the plastic ones work just as well. I've never had any issues with them. And then you'll be able to tell it's working because you'll be able to see the natural color of your tongue, and you'll be able to see all that nasty grime and just shit on your tongue just come off. And why that is really important is because the majority of the germs that cause bad breath, halitosis, are going to be on your tongue. So you're going to want to make sure that your tongue is extremely clean, um, so that way that you don't have that bad breath. Also, once I clean my tongue, I'll go to the floss. I like the little floss picks. I'll use those. A lot of germs that also cause bad breath will be in between your teeth, so you just want to make sure that you get in between all your teeth and clean them out. And then once you do that, then the last step I'll do is I'll use mouthwash to kind of gather all the things that I flossed out, and then I'm able to like spit it out into the sink. And then I'll rinse a second time, spit it out, and then I won't rinse my mouth out with water because I kind of want the mouthwash to still do its work while it's still in my mouth. Um, and then that's pretty much my like morning teeth cleaning routine. Now, when it comes to whitening my teeth, I do like to use the like Crest white strips. Even the generic brands work pretty well. They can whiten your teeth up to like 4 different shades. And then also another really good product that I like to use, I'll show you guys right here, is the Colgate Optic White overnight pen. It's a really good product. So basically, what you do is there's a button, you click it twice, the gel will come out into this brush, and then what you do is you take the brush and you just glide it across your teeth. 2 clicks is good enough for 4. Whoops, I accidentally clicked it. Hopefully the gel doesn't come out. But typically 2 clicks is good enough for 4 individual teeth. So then after you do 4, you click 2 more times and do another 4, and you leave that on overnight. Once I apply it, I'll kind of like smile, let it dry out for about a minute or two. Then I'll close my mouth and then I'm off to bed. And then once it's the morning, then you can brush it off. And it's been working really good, as you guys can tell. My teeth are it's working. It's working. It's a really good product. I highly recommend it. Um, and then yeah, that's pretty much my teeth care routine. And then also because I live in such dry environment, you really want to use chapstick, and just not any cheap chapstick. The brand that I highly recommend is called Vaseline Lip Therapy. They have different types as well. There's ones with cocoa butter, there's ones that use rose petals, and there's like the original one, and I think they had like some kind of like pumpkin one. I'm not 100% sure. But typically I like the Vaseline Lip Therapy over other brands like Blistex and Carmex is because it doesn't have a strong smell at all. Even the original, it smells like nothing. And it's very good at retaining moisture. So it's like Blistex is pretty good at retaining moisture and Carmex, but Vaseline Lip Therapy retains moisture the best out of all of them, in my opinion. I've never had any issues with it, and it doesn't have like this weird burning or like weird smell to it. So if you really need a good brand of chapstick, I highly recommend Vaseline Lip Therapy. You can find them in pretty much any store, things of that nature. And one other tip I would like to say is avoiding smoking. So, if you smoke cigarettes, that's obviously going to yellow your teeth. Anybody can smoke a cigarette and then cut the filter in half, and you can just see inside that filter how yellow it is. So, if that's what you're smoking, imagine what that's going to do to your teeth in terms of staining it. So, if you can, avoid smoking. Actually, no, avoid smoking totally, because just in general, smoking is just terrible. Like, you don't need to be smoking cigarettes. And if you're smoking like weed, then there's other alternatives to it. Anything that you burn and inhale is inherently not going to be good for your health. So avoid smoking. If you have to smoke the laughing cabbage, I mean, there's edibles, there's like the drinks, there's beef jerky. There's other ways to consume it. And then also with coffee, I would try to reduce the intake significantly. Like a cup a day isn't bad, but if you're drinking like two, or not two, I would say like 3, 4 cups of coffee, and you're doing this like nearly every single day, then obviously, that's going to stain your teeth. So you just want to avoid things that can ultimately stain your teeth. And then, okay, so moving on to the next part of my routine is skin. So after, I brush my teeth and then I shave and like cut my hair and then take care of my lips, the next thing I'll do is I make sure that I have a really good skincare routine. So when I'm washing my face, I use Clean and Clear. So I have like a morning face wash and then a nighttime face wash. And so I'll wash my face with the morning face wash. And then once I pat my skin down, I will use witch hazel. I like to use the ones that have rose water in it as well. And what that'll do is it will clean out your pores, and it will tone your face so that your skin looks even. And it'll kind of dry your face out a little bit, but you'll feel like really refreshed and light. And then once I hit my face with that witch hazel, I'll take some of the cream, I'll put some of it on my face, not too much, because if I put too much, it'll look real like greasy and oily. So I'll just take a little bit of cream, put that on my face, and then what I like to do is I also like to use the beard balm right here, to put on my face anywhere that I shaved, and then also on my eyebrows. And I'll show you guys that this is how much I have left, if you guys can see. And I've had this for 3 years, so it lasts a really, really long time. The brand is called Shea Moisture Beard Balm, and it works really well in keeping like my eyebrow hairs nice and slick and flowing in one direction. And then also using that beard balm on the places that I shaved, it'll help stop bleeding from all those nicks and cuts. So that's a really good product that I highly recommend. And then also, or anyway, going back to what I was saying with the skincare routine. So I'll do the morning face wash, witch hazel, pat dry, lotion, and then the beard balm. And then next, what's important with that is that you also want to watch what you're eating. So I avoid juice and soda. And a lot of you will sit here and lie to my face and tell me, oh, I don't really drink that much juice and soda, but it's like you're almost drinking it every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I buy like the Simply Lemonade, just 1 liter or 2 liters, whatever it is. I'll buy one jug of that, and it will last me 2 weeks because I'll just take kind of like sips at a time whenever I kind of need like that little sugar rush. But typically, what I try to do is I just drink water. If I need some kind of flavor to it, I buy Mio. Mio is real good. It comes in different flavors, and there's like no added sugars. And it's really effective if you need something with a sweet taste but don't necessarily want all that sugar, because if you're drinking all that sugar, it's going to build up in your system, and it's going to cause you to start to break out. That's how you can tell that I don't really have a lot of acne, is because I drink a lot of water and I try to avoid juices. I also avoid dark liquor, so I don't really like drinking bourbon, whiskey, rum, and I used to. And what would happen is I would drink like bourbon, whiskey, rum, and I would start getting like cystic acne. So I would get like cyst right here below my eye. I would get it on my chin. I would get it like on my cheekbones, and it would actually take a long time for me to get rid of it. So I had to avoid drinking dark liquor. If I do want to drink, I drink typically beer or something light like tequila or vodka. So that's going to be really important, is that you make sure you watch your sugar intake. And then also, to piggyback off of that, you want to make sure that you take a multivitamin. So I take a multivitamin because it'll have a lot of essential vitamins that are good for your body, in terms of like being good for your skin. So like vitamin D, vitamin E, and then biotin, which is good for your hair, and then your nails. Um, and then typically with your nails, you just want to make sure that they're cut short, not extremely short, but just short enough to where you can't get any type of grime like underneath it. And then when you are using lotion for your skincare routine and you're putting lotion on your body, there is a significant difference between lotion and cream. So if you live more on the East Coast, the West Coast, southern states where there's a lot of humidity, you're going to want to use lotion, because lotion is water based, and because there's already so much moisture in the air, um, it'll be a lot easier for lotion to lock moisture into your skin. Whereas if you live in a drier climate like Colorado, like the Midwest states, places where there's low humidity, it's colder, windier, drier, you're going to want to use cream. And cream is oil based. So when you're in these climates where there's not a lot of moisture, the oil is going to lock in that moisture a lot better than if you were to use lotion. It's a little bit more pricier, but that's kind of the cost that you pay living in a drier, colder environment. Um, and then, yeah, guys, that's pretty much what I do for my morning routine. It takes me about 30 minutes. And then one other thing that I like to do is um, you want to make sure that you invest in, a good cologne. So right here, guys, I got the Abusan Paris Flyer. It's a, it's pretty average cologne. It's nothing like Dior or Gucci, but it's got a light smell that's got a little bit of citrus and bergamot, and you don't want to spray too much cologne because then at that point it's going to be overpowering, and the women really aren't going to like it. But what I like to do is I like to spray them on my wrist and then spray on my neck. And then also what helps me is that cream that I mentioned earlier. I like to take a little dab of it, and because it's unscented, I don't have to worry about the smells mixing. But what I'll do is I'll spray the cologne on my wrist and my neck, then I'll take a little bit of the cream, rub it into my wrist, rub it into my neck, and then that'll also lock in the smell of the cologne. Whereas sometimes you spray the cologne and the smell doesn't necessarily last that long. So if you do have a unscented cream, that'll help lock in the smell of the cologne significantly better. So those kind of are my tips to help you guys level up, because ultimately at the end of the day, you have to realize that hygiene plays such a significant role. I can easily say that when I take care of myself properly, I can easily shoot from like a just hypothetical number. I can go from like a 5.3 to a 6.3 just by, making sure my eyebrows are nice and lined up, my teeth are white, and then I'm smiling more often. And see, that plays in tandem and they work well together. You smile a lot more when you take care of your teeth. When you smile a lot more, you have the appearance of being more confident. When you have the appearance of being more confident, and in turn increases that score. So you can just see how taking care of your hygiene just leads from one thing to another when it comes to improving your attractiveness. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Those are pretty much my hygiene tips to make yourself more attractive. Like I said, my routine's about 30 minutes. Guys, just take 30 minutes out of your day to try to improve your looks based on your hair, your skincare routine, making sure that you're well lotioned, you're not ashy, and then that your tongue doesn't have all this nasty crud all over it. And I guarantee that if you take these steps, you will significantly increase your chances of being more attractive. So yeah, guys, that's all that I got for today, and I will see you guys on the next episode, and hope you guys have a good day. Catch you guys later.
No one cares how you feeling.